So here we are with Josiah, Darr. How you doing, Josiah?
I'm doing all right.
It's good to see you.
Good to be seen.
It's a nice morning out. Let's jump in and go do this, huh?
Jump in right there. Let's jam.
All right. See if I can fall in.
Fall in first thing.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be fun. What's the name of this place, Josiah?
We're at Scappoose Bay Marina.
Nice.
Right here on the lower MULTNOMAH channel. Home sweet home. Boy, that'll straighten you out first thing in the morning.
Yeah, it's a little nippy. It's about I don't know, about 45 degrees out here today. So today we're with Josiah Darr. He's a professional fishing guide here in Scappoose, Oregon. And last night I texted him and I asked him what makes Scappoose so famous other than beating me in Little League. And he immediately texted me back with this massive salmon that he caught just a mile or so from us.
So we're in the MULTNOMAH channel. We're up a little ways from the bottom. We're at Coon Island right now. And this is just one of the, 20 major ambush points in the channel that people really like to focus on. This one's a little different. It's a little busier because this one's got a moorage that's private. So a lot of these guys, the same boats you see every day, a lot of these are just local guys. Pretty dang good fishermen, a lot of them too. So these guys kill their fish in the morning quite a bit. And then a lot of them, like my dad, they go home, go mow the lawn, do something else. But it's a pretty good little fishery especially for a couple hours in the morning. So we zipped all the way up here and now we're gonna just try and capitalize, hopefully get lucky on this first pass or two and get in on the action. Yeah, so these rods I got, they're real slow action. A friend of mine made them for me. And they're super slow. They just let those fish chew on them. And they chew. There's zero reason to pick up these rods. I tell people all the time, salmon, their entire lives, right? They're on the ocean just eating. And then they come in the river and they start eating and you pull it away from them. Like, no, that's like the only thing they're good at is eating stuff. Just let them do it. Just let them go. And these super slow rods, they'll bend all the way to the cork. No reason to get in a hurry. Hopefully we'll get to see one of those happen here pretty quick. And then there's the ones that just slam it straight to the bottom and rip off 20 feet of line. Those are nice too. I like those. Yeah. We call those, what do you call those, Nick? Zip zips?
Zip zips.
Those are zip zips. Oh, zip. Zip zips are good.
So what do we got here, Josiah?
I just got some herring dyed. I got these ones are dyed chartreuse. But I'm gonna go in on the low side of that one. I'm gonna stick this right inside the fish.
A little bit slower, maybe.
Comes right back up.
What size herring are you using?
These are green labels. Oops. I'm gonna shorten this distance up a little bit. And then we take this guy and run him right in the top. Shit, I shouldn't do that. Right in the top, in on the high side, out on the low side, and drop him over.
All right.
And watch him spin. He should spin. It should be a little slower than the other way I spin it.
Spin it. Come on.
All right. So looks like we got a fish under the boat right now.
Yeah, that one's gonna get away.
And we're gonna use the secret fish call. What do you got? A whistle or something, right?
Yeah, the fish whistle's a little different.
Oh no. Well, I think he couldn't find the whistle. And there goes the fish. See you later. We'll catch you later, buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna save that one for you guys up in Marine City.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone.
No!
It's gone.
Why?
Yeah, I had pressure on
And
him.
then he goes, oh, eat that one. And they eliminated it.
Oh, perfect. You're like,
But eat that one. Oh, there it goes.
oh, okay. Dang it. I mean, is there anything I should have done differently?
No.
I mean,
Set the weight down.
Well, you just had a take down and didn't stick. That one was a professional. We got two baits.
yeah. Oh,
Got two here in it.
that one's full now.
So what just happened, Tim?
So we had a double drive-by. Nick's bait got taken down twice and dropped it. And he said, oh, take this guy's next. Took mine. I lost the fish, reeled up, and he got both our baits. So he's full for the day.
That one's a professional.
Yeah, that one's a professional.
We just lost a bait to a nice springer, I assume, and you're going to rig up another one. So what are you doing here?
I'm rigging them a little bit different than most people. A lot of people come up top with the front hook, but I come through the short side here with both hooks. I'm gonna wrap it around. Boom. Like that. And you can leave that hook trailing if you want. But I come through this side. Boom. Just like that. You notice a lot of your grabs, and this spin's a little bit different than if you were to just put that top hook up front. It's a little bit slower spin. But if you notice all your grabs, like bait come back with baits, all your teeth marks are right in the middle. So now you got two hooks out front, and this loop actually helps grab their teeth.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So we just had a couple takedowns. We're gonna run back down and come through the same spot here. Here we go.
So this morning the tide's it's like the last hour and a half of the incoming. So it's a big lake out here. There's almost no current. When that happens, it really doesn't force the fish to the bottom. The current doesn't really push them down. It kind of lets them swim around more like goldfish. I'd say they're a little harder to target, and I don't worry about fishing the bottom nearly as hard as I do on a regular algo. In a perfect world, you know, the last hour or two of the outgoing, that last bit as it gets low, I think it gets narrow. It kind of pushes the fish towards the bottom, and then for whatever reason, you know, on the tide changes, they just bite better, they move better, but something happens. But there's no question that the last hour or two of the outgo, you know, right as it starts to push back in, you'll see a decent little snap in here. And sometimes that's your day. I mean, you do what we did this morning. You go make a first pass or two, you get the fish that are laying there, the easy ones, which we missed, but whatever. And then, you know, you fish around. I can't tell you how many days I've got one or two grabs in the first hour, and then kind of hump around, hunt, and then all of a sudden you have that tide change at some point in the other day, and then boom, boom, you had two more grabs right on that change. So, you know, you just kind of hump around, try and work. And when there's a lot of fish in here and it's really good, you get them all day. It's just, you know, springers are hard. It just is what it is. This is shallow. You know, there's a lot of boats running over their head. I think that screws with them too. People really, it really drives me crazy, you know, at certain places, you know, when guys run over the shallow stuff, especially like in front of the moorage or inside Coon Island, if guys go the other way where we all troll. If you ran a 300 over top of a hole on the Wilson, a 300 horsepower Merc, over the top of a hole on the Wilson that was 12 feet deep, you wouldn't expect to catch a fish in there for an hour or two. But it's 12 feet deep in here, we're running 300s over them all day long, and guys don't think about it. I'm like, guys, they're not gonna go. I mean, they will bite, but it definitely freaks a lot of them out. So I think there's something to be said for getting them in the morning because they haven't been run over yet. A lot of that, they're just not freaked out. One thing I noticed about the channel is like in the Columbia, when you get on a big outgoing tide, you'll see like all the fish caught on like a, you know, 25 to 30 foot on the sand. They're all like lined up, especially in like the church hole once in a while in the fall. You'll see where it's like really clearly there's a depth where those fish are running. This doesn't have that. I don't think there's enough current, and it's too big of a weird, it's just kind of a weird flat, the whole channel. So it doesn't seem to me that they're grooved out like that, like they do in the Columbia. With this fishery, I honestly look for the boats that are ahead of me and just try not to troll right behind another really good fisherman. If there's another guide boat with 6 rods, like, don't go right behind him, scoot over 40 yards, just go pick some space. Because I don't, you know, there's no like real, I don't think there's real rhyme or reason as much in here as there is in the Columbia. So I just assume not be in line with someone else versus, you know, go do the exact same troll as everybody, because that's what we do. I just go find new water. You'll get them, but we'll get them wherever.
Is anybody pull here at all? Quick fish?
So amazingly enough, right here on the cover of Salmon Trout Steelheader is Josiah's wife, Lindsay. Hey, what can you tell us about that fish that day right there?
That was a good one. That was I want to say that was like a Saturday afternoon in like May, this time of year, real nice afternoon. And she was like, let's go out on the boat for a couple hours. So we it's like the crack of 1 o'clock. Came out and threw a couple rods out. I was trolling, it was windy, and I was just trolling along, and we were in, actually that fish was at Santosh. We were trolling along inside, and I watched that front rod start getting chewed on, and she's funny because she knows the program, so she just goes, like, I'm like, oh, wait, and it loads up and she sticks it. Well, the wind was blowing so hard that as soon as I had 3 other rods to get up, right? So as soon as I took my hand off the throttle, we kind of blew into the pilings, and the nose of the boat goes right into the row of pilings, one of the little clusters of pilings. The fish takes off of the bank, and Lindsay just runs right up in the bow, goes right around the pilings with the rod tip, and then right back to the back of the boat. And I'm like, God, nice. You're good at that. Nice job, baby. And she's like, and then she yells at me, she's like, get me out of here, or get me out of the pilings, or something like that. I'm like, sorry. But yeah, we got that one. What was funny about that one is I turned around, and I honestly don't know if that was the first from the second one, but we turned around, did a 50-yard circle, and I really cut off another boat. And I wanted to go right back through there. We went right back through the same spot and drill the second one immediately. And the guy that I cut off looks at me just like shaking his head. I'm like, sorry, this is my wife. I just said, my bad. Sorry. So no, she's a fishy little booger. She's a good fisherman. She knows the program. She gets them about every time she comes out. But she's also smart. She waits till we're catching them like really consistently until she comes out.
Before she comes out.
Yeah, she knows better.
She's no dummy.
Oh, you got 5 yesterday? I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's writing for SCS. I think I started writing for them when I was 21. So it's been a while. But no, what really happened was I got stuck on the couch. I got in a bad car crash and I couldn't go to Alaska, my 3rd year in Alaska. So I had nothing to do. I had like literally the entire month of June and July. I wasn't allowed to get in a car or anything because I was trying to recover. So I had nothing to do, bored out of my mind, and I sat down with a laptop and just started writing articles and sending them to people. So I would send them to Pat, send them to Nick, send them to whoever would take them, and guys started getting them. And then, I don't know, the following summer, Nick called me and he says, hey, you want to come fish the Deschutes or something? So Nick and I went up and fished the Deschutes and caught a couple steelhead, and then we kicked around the house for a while, and shoot, I don't know, that was a long time ago. And he's like, well, what else can you write? And then we just kept going, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And here we are. And that's when it all went sideways.
So I'm here with Nick Fernandez, and he's been out here fishing with Josiah for the last, month? Or?
Yeah, a month. When I get out here, end of March.
Sweet. So
yeah, end of March. So we've been out here just chasing springers. It's been pretty dang good. Gosh, it's probably been the best springer fishing we've seen in, I don't know what, 3 or 4 years, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Been pretty good. And then, I'll be here till the end of May. And then I take off and head to Southeast Alaska, June 10th. I'll be up there for my summer. So I work for Waterfall Resort up there for my summers, and get to go play around in a 28-foot North River and go chase kings and halibut and bottom fish for 2 months, and it is not a bad gig. It's a lot of fun.
And then you're coming back down here for Buoy 10?
Yeah,
right?
then I'll come back August 10th, and then I'll stay in Astoria through the end of September. I'll fish coho down there, even into the first week of October if we don't get a bunch of rain.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a really good run of coho
Yep.
this year.
So if it's anything like last year, it's going to be another great year of fishing down there, especially with the 3-fish limit.
Nice.
It's going to be incredible.
It's going to be really, really good.
I'm going to be here, so we'll go down there to July, then August, then I'll come back here at the end of August, fish here until they close this September 14th, then turn around and go back down there from September 15th till the end of September. The coho fishing down there is going to be
So
absurd.
you have 50 or 60 bites in a day.
Yeah, it's going to be no big deal to have. Yeah, I think there'll be days we'll kill 21. You might kill 3 fish.
No, definitely. And there's days, you start at 9 o'clock, just depending on the tides. If you got a big negative outgoing in the morning, and you're like, oh, we're going to start at 9.
It's leisurely. It's an awesome one for kids and people that maybe aren't like, obviously you get bored fishing, there's some time between fish. That fishery, there's not a lot of time between fish. It's just, and you lose them and you don't care. And it's someone that like stresses out about losing a fish. I find clients sometimes get worried about that, where even I'm like, oh guys, it happens. But like down there, like whack, 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 oh, it's gone. It's okay. Leave it out. Oh, whack, whack, whack. There's another one. You're fine. You're good. We're kind of talking about like the different fish kind of going different places. Because I'll get 2 springers laying in my bag right next to each other, and they don't look the same. One of them is really, really green back, great big spots, and then other ones are your perfect Willamette River, like purple back, snow belly, chrome, little footballs. So I just kind of always wonder where they're going, but I just got a picture of like these are 2 fish laying next to each other on the floor, and they They're both Chinook, but they definitely don't look like the same fish. I mean, they're different color, they're different face shape, and I always wonder where they go. I mean, or, you know, if they're just different strains, different rivers. When we're in the Columbia and that's open, you know, you'll get those black face fish that are clearly, like those Columbia fish have the real black, you know, snout, the black throat patch, and more gray belly. But they, you know, once in a while I catch one in here that I think is a Columbia fish that looks like that. But even this difference between these Willamette fish, some of them are just different critters, and I don't know if they're, you know, Sandy Am versus Clackamas or McKinsey, or, you know, but they're definitely, you get a few of them that are clearly different looking critters. So Bill's got 2 on. We just got bit.
This one just went down. Well, looks like we got some action over here. I think they said a double, if I wasn't mistaken. Is that what they said, Josiah?
I think he's got one. I think, yeah, the person in the turquoise has one on the other side of the boat too, I think.
They got one to the boat, and
go get the other one.
Another one on the other side.
He might have a triple. He might have a triple.
Dragging Josiah.
I think Bill's got 3 on. Unless those 2 got together. Got them both.
Wow, nice.
Double. Yeah, you got them both.
Into the boat.
Good job, guys.
So, what do we got here?
So a little green label. Pulled them out of my jar. This one is not dyed chartreuse. This is just kind of your natural, regular herring color. You know, one of the biggest reasons I do them with like chartreuse and clear is just mostly because I have 6 rods going. You know, with the two rod endorsements of the Willamette, you can almost always fish 6 rods. So I just don't see any purpose in fishing 6 of them exactly the same. So I try and fish some clear, some green. Seems to get bit well on either one. This one's pretty good herring. He's got all scales, or most of the scales on him. So we're gonna go put him on the front rod and send him down.
So where are we headed, Josiah?
Oh, we're gonna run down and go down into the what we call the 6s. We're gonna run down to the bottom of the river, right where just above where it dumps into Columbia. And essentially, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down there because we're gonna go try and get to the first fish coming out of the Columbia instead of being upriver a few miles where we are right now. The whole hope is when they come over there, you know, you get the first crack at them when they first come over first come out of the Columbia, and they haven't seen a bait or anything like that. So hopefully, you land on a brand new one and they bite real well like that. So we're gonna go down there and give it a ride. All right, guys, we're just dropped down here. Now we're this little section we call the 6s and kind of the flats. So this little section down here, we're just above the bottom end of the channel where it dumps into the Columbia right down there. So we're gonna troll this flat in here and hopefully pick up some of the fish that are coming in and out of the Columbia right when they get up in here. So we're basically like, I don't know, 4 miles downstream of where we just were. On to the next little spot, see what we can find. I got all the slackers today.
Long time.
He was giving a slacker discount.
Slacker discount.
For the last 8 hours. I really don't want to go to dinner.
Oh my God, he's on there now. He's got to be.
Nice. Nice. Oh no. We just had a complete hammer there.
I just put that herring on.
That's the wah number 2 for Nick.
No, I waited long enough.
Yeah, oh yeah, you weren't early. I thought he was maybe on there and coming.
Oh wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
Springers, they're terrible animals. Stupidest animal ever.
All right, I got nothing to say about that.
And Josiah, he told him to set the hook. Whose fault is that?
Still Nick's.
Still, man.
Hey, you know what? You ever caught a springer that has a thumb? No one has.
So Nick's rod just got slammed right here, and Josiah's re-rigging it. Got a new bait going out.
Ooh,
Make sure it twists good, right? Oh, beautiful.
pretty good little spin.
Nice.
That's what you're looking for right there.
So let's get it back out and get another bite.
Get it down there where they can reach it. looking at the water temperature, trying to figure out what time to switch pro trolls versus triangles and herring and stuff like that. I think most guys kind of think 50 degrees is sort of kind of a magic number to start thinking about that a little more once that water reaches 50. Once it starts getting, 52, 3, 4, 5, a lot more people start switching over. This section down here, right now we're trolling past the mill, and we're trolling down kind of through the deep water, just right here towards the Columbia here at the deadline. And this deep water in here is pretty popular spot to get guys pro trolling in here. You're just kind of suspend fishing a lot like you would in the Columbia, but guys tend to do pretty well in here. So I haven't switched yet. I still got some herring. We haven't really had any problem getting bit on the herring. Today we've had bad luck keeping them on, but we've had 3 fish rip baits off. So they're certainly still grabbing herring. It's just a matter of time though. A lot of guys start running out of herring. Water gets warm. Herring are harder to keep on. And it just gets to where it's not really cost effective. It's not really more effective to start fishing herring. It's just a pretty good time to start switching. So, people ask me all the time what the regular water temperature is, and I kind of laugh and tell them the same thing. I really don't have a water temperature. It's when my friends that are pro trolling start catching way more fish than me. That's sort of the deciding factor for me. I mean, I got enough buddies out here that are doing that if they were getting them, I would know for sure. And right now it's kind of a wash. I mean, some guys are getting them. I just think it's a matter of getting in front of a biter at this point. There's not a ton of them going by, but the ones that, seems like when we get around them, we're getting bit pretty quick. So, I don't know. Right there on the edge of it. Water right now is 52.3 on my graph. I think the next couple trips, I'm going to start sending a couple pro trolls out. And if one of those gets rocked, I'll probably start switching more and more over the next week or two and all the way through the rest of May and definitely in June. Pretty much just about guaranteed to be pro trolling by June. So, that's kind of the program with that. Spin fish, super baits, all that stuff, just regular Cooney spinners, all of them are pretty effective. Everyone kind of has a thing they like. So I tend to mix them up and do a couple of each because I figure those fish are seeing one rod. So I like to do a few of everything and just see what I can get them to bite on. But, that's kind of the main plan, just kind of stick it out and hopefully run into biters.
Josiah, how late in the season will you fish? Like, how late is there fishable numbers? I know it depends on the year, obviously, but...
If they let us you can catch these things till June.
Okay.
Yeah, but if it's last year it opened for the Columbia opened in May. So once the Columbia opened in May, it was like, duh. You go back and hit the Columbia. So for me, that's kind of my deciding factor, if you will. If the Columbia's open, I'm going to go out there. Even though there might be early for the quote-unquote summer Chinook, there's still a lot of springers. I don't know what you want to call them. I don't even remember when the exact date they start calling them summers versus springers. But when you catch a 12-pounder that's clipped, that's a perfect little football, that's a springer. And versus you get one that's 23 pounds with a fin on it the size of your hand. Yeah. You're like, oh, that's a summer Chinook. So I don't know what the line is as far as the date they use to say that they switch, but if the Columbia was open, I'd certainly be out there right now. I love that fishery, and quick fishing's fun. You can still pro troll, you can still do all the things we're doing right now with the herring. Oh, sorry, thought that rod was getting bit.
Oh yeah.
So did I.
But you can still do all the things we're doing right now out there in the Columbia. It would work great if we could make a lap down there. I'm sure we'd smoke a few fish, but I think the deciding factor though, once that Columbia gets up and pushing, that quick fishing, anchor fishing, that's just a great program. It's easy, it's fun, relaxing. You just sit on the hook, plenty of double-digit days just sitting on anchor. So that's my plan if we get the fishery. All right, guys, let's pick them up. We kind of ran up the ledge too far.
So we're back where the day started, right here at the docks. We gave it our best shot. We had a couple really good takedowns. Actually, I think we lost 3 herring. So if anybody out there catches a springer with a green herring in it, if you could give Josiah a call, that'd be great because it's probably his fish.
There's a couple going by.
Yeah. So hey, thanks for having us out, Josiah. This is great.
Yeah, we got after him today. It's just a perfect little morning trip. Springers are kind of tough that way. We could just as easily have 2 or 3 and feel like heroes. Instead, we're 0 for 3 and feel like we didn't do something right. But we did everything right. We just didn't get them to stick today. It's just unlucky, and tomorrow I might go 4 for 4. So we'll see what happens. Just springer fishing, man. It's like baseball. You just got to keep swinging.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and put a comment and tell us what other kind of cool fishing you want the boys at STS to bring you.